I began really focusing on getting into the funeral service when I was around 8 or 9 years old. That's when I went to my first funeral. I went to 3 funerals kind of close together within that year. And that's when I thought about it. I was like, hey, this is something that is interesting. Even at 8 and 9 years old, just watching the emotion of my family and friends at this ceremony, watching a person lay there, it was triggering at that young age. Going to high school, you have your woes. You know what you want to do, but you kind of veer off. But I had a counselor that cared, and I think she knew me well enough to see that I was veering probably not to the better side. So she pulled me in her office and we had a conversation, and she simply wanted to know what I wanted to do once I graduated.
I know Mike as one of my counselees. I was his counselor. You got to realize that mortuary science interest for a kid that young is kind of surprising. But if you knew Michael, you realize that he just had a focus and he knew what he wanted to do. When Michael tells it, he says that in 15 minutes, I had him on a bus and on his way to Oklahoma.
I've known Mike for literally approaching 30 years, met him in 1995 at the University of Central Oklahoma, and I was an upperclassman, he was an underclassman, just on the yard, and I'd been around the block for a while, so I was kind of an established guy on campus. And what I remember, my first impressions were he was this, he had a blue Kansas City Royals hat on, he had a gold tooth, and he was super smiley. There was something about him, it's just like, number one, just people skills, like he was a people magnet. He was super nice, he was super friendly. I think we see some of those same attributes today. He came there with a game plan. The reason he landed at the University of Central Oklahoma is that we were one of the few schools in the country that actually had a funeral service program to actually get your degree in. And so again, there's not too many guys that show up, especially many brothers that show up on campus like, yo, I want to work in a funeral service. Back then, in the 90s, mid-90s, 1995, we were thought you were a little bit special, but that was his goal. He showed up with a vision. That's what he wanted to do, and got straight to it. So I love that hustle about him. And then we just ended up becoming, best of friends and been best friends, literally, like I said, approaching, 30 years in a couple of months.
Once you're in school, you have to do what's considered a practicum, an apprenticeship to complete school. So I had to find a funeral home there in Oklahoma to do that. I did briefly work at a funeral home there in Spencer, Oklahoma, very briefly. I called around and found Rolfe Funeral Home, and Rolfe welcomed me with open arms. It was a family and still is a family-owned firm. And I worked there 2.5 years before returning here to Kansas City, starting my career.
How do I know Mike? I know him from him working in funeral homes and working in the funeral service business, seeing him at different services. And then at a later time, he united with our church. And so I knew him from, as a member. From the first time that I met him, he was just always energetic, always had a smile on his face, always loved people, just had that spirit of excellence about him. And so it was always something special.
So then he comes back and he works and serves another institution, was willing to be the second seat, third seat, overnight worker for years and served them faithfully. And I think it wasn't a matter of if, it was just a matter of when.
I believe on the website it stated, what was your dream? And I've always said to open my own firm, not to take anything away from theirs, but that was ultimately my dream and my goal.
He talked about it for a long time, but when he got to the point where it was time for the vision to become a reality, he was ready, we were ready. From the time he said go, it was, hey, all hands on deck.
He is a lover of people. When you're in this business or any business, you have your ups, you have your downs, you have different personalities that come in. But from looking at Mike, he always treats everyone the same.
So I named the business Serenity for peace. Serenity is supposed to be calm. And so when you're dealing with death, you don't want to stress families. You want to try to eliminate as much stress and problems from families. So I named Serenity that just for it. And I didn't want to name it after myself because it takes a team. It's not about Michael Atkins. It's about the team that surrounds me.
Any business that is run with integrity is important to our community. We all know that you can't just do a little bit and survive. You have to go beyond.
Our community involvement definitely helps with everything that we do here. Our priority is to support those that are in the community with whatever they do. It's not so much of us going to take over. It's simply asking them, how can we help you? And so that's one of the things about us. I mean, we're involved with more than people even know. If they never put my name on it, I'm fine with that. We know what we do behind the scenes, and we'll continue to do that.
I'm not surprised at all to hear that Mike wanted to start a foundation in honor of his mother, and I think that's really important. And when you look at what her vision was for her boys, it was for them to go to college, and they both did that. So Key goes to college, he's able to finish. Then Mike goes to college, not only gets his degree in funeral service, but comes back here and goes and gets his master's degree. And college was a big deal for her kids, and it was important. So I think for him, for those that are watching this video now at the 10-year anniversary, know that this is able to happen because Mike went and got the education. And so Mike pours into so many young people and invests in them and gives, whether it's family members, whether it's friends. And so I think this is just another way for her legacy, which is through him, is able to live on.
My mother was simple. Simple country girl, never had a lot, but would give you anything and give you the shirt off her back. If she couldn't provide money for you, she would cook for you. If by creating this foundation, I can always keep her legacy alive. One thing about it, with me and my brothers, she always wanted us to go to college. And, with that, she said, you're at least gonna try it. And so one thing about being in college is things always come up. And so I find myself dealing with a lot of youth that are in college, and they need things. And, having this foundation, I can provide things to youth. And it's just not in funeral service. I mean, if they're in college and they need, we can provide it.
Number one, you want to do the right thing. That's one. It's just integrity is one. But also, you want to make mom proud, because mom solo did it on her own. And so you just want to be able to make mom proud. And so, because that's the person that did everything to put you in a position to be successful. And I think maybe somewhere along the way, we all have a little bit of, you make mom proud and prove others wrong and yourself and your mom right along the way.
As a child, you never know how hard your mother works, what your mother sacrifices to make sure that you want for nothing. So one of the things that Miss Brown said was, you have to get away to grow up. I went away to school, and so that was 94. This is 96. And so the transition of a boy to a man, you self-reflect and you think about things that you went through. And so this letter here in 96 was one of those moments that I could express to my mom my goals and things that I definitely wanted to accomplish. And so me looking back, after my mother retired from General Motors, she still had, she raised 3 boys alone. So that retirement check wasn't enough. So she cleaned houses, and that's the day work that she did. So my goal was to one day buy a house just as big as the one she cleaned so she can retire there.
Did you do that?
And I did that.
He made sure that his mother lacked nothing, wanted, nothing. He was always there. And we just admired the way he took care as she began to decline in her health. And Olivia and I, having taken care of our parents in their older years. We knew that that was a very special connection. So we marveled at that relationship that he had with his mother, because he was always tender, always kind, always had her by the arm, by the shoulder, making sure her steps, were perfect. And so that just made it, more special. And people like that, you want them to win. You want them to succeed.
Bear with me. So when I wrote this letter, of course I was going through, learning the industry, learning everything about the industry. And one thing about death, it's inevitable. And so I think I was going through some classes, death and dying. And my mom had already had health issues. So this is one of those moments that I knew eventually we had to prepare for it. And no parent wants to bury their child. My mother had already buried my oldest brother, and so I knew what that did to her. So, even though I never wanted that day to come, but I knew if life keeps life, and one day she wouldn't be with me anymore. So I think that was one of those times that I was reflecting on that.
Honor your father and your mother, that your days will be long upon the earth. He honored her in life, and now he has developed another way to honor her in death. I think she would be very happy. I don't think she would be surprised, because he just took such good care of her. But I think she would be extremely pleased. As Olivia said earlier, that's all she talked about was her son and his vision and his dreams and things like that. Obviously, that was times that they would sit and talk, and he would just share with his mom, what he wanted to do. And so I think that she would be honored. I can see her smiling, from ear to ear. My son, you'll never cease to amaze me.
My message for my mom is what I walk around here and probably quote on a daily. It's simply, may the work I've done speak for me. And so as she's looking down on us, I just hope that she's smiling and saying, good job.